So, this has been kind of on my mind for a bit, and I know, yeah, Fantastic Four was a bomb, and it came out about, what, a month, 2 months ago, and I don't, no one wants to talk about it anymore, but it's been kind of on my mind a little bit of what I'd like to do if I could, and there's been so many talk of, from directors who said, well, I would have done Fantastic Four like this, or I would have done Fantastic Four like that, and I just kind of thought to myself, what if I got a chance to do a Fantastic Four movie? And I kind of just thought to myself, what would I like to do with a Fantastic Four film? What would I want to do with that? What would I, want to see in that? What would I want to do with this? So here we are. Anyway, so let's talk about what the casting. Now, I kind of did a long while back, my fan cast for Fantastic Four. Even though I've always said I suck at fan casting, and yeah, I had a pretty interesting cast. I can't remember. I think it was Chris Pine I said for Johnny Storm, but I don't know. Looking back on him, that's too much of an obvious choice, so I wouldn't pick him. But I'm still sold on my other three picks for. I'm still dead set on my other three fan cast picks for Reed, Ben, and Sue. I'm still sold on those, and those are Charlize Theron for Invisible Woman, Michael Rooker for Ben Grimm, and David Tennant for Mr. Fantastic. Those are the ones Johnny Storm's the one I'm I don't know, Chris Pine's just too obvious, and, he's put in everything, so I kind of took him out. So, again, as much as I don't, am bad at fan casting, I'm kind of those are the ones I'm kind of set on. But anyway, I digress. So what would I do? Obviously, yeah, I would have an older cast because the younger cast thing didn't really work out so well. And yeah, that's kind of the way you see it, is this family of superheroes. Not these group of angsty teenagers, but a group of adventures. And even though if I know I have the David Tennant in this fan cast film as Mr. Fantastic, I would make it a little more Doctor Who-y. That's a word now. I would make it very much like Doctor Who. I would, I'd try to find, I'd actually try to get writers from Doctor Who, maybe Jamie Matherson or Toby Whitehouse, to, write the scripts for, fun science fiction-y adventures. Because that's what, the Fantastic Four is built on. Fun science fiction-y adventures. And, kind of do these, great big, action-y type films with a lot of sci-fi, mumbo-jumbo here, there, and everywhere. So, that's what I would like to do, is give it very much because again, you can do the Doctor Who feel with Fantastic Four, because it already kind of did that way back in the 60s. And again, you can get away with fun, action-y stuff with, what they're doing with Avengers, so I think, yeah, that could be a cool way to go. Among other things, now you're probably wondering, we've come to the point where it's well, who would you want as the villain? I would have it that, and another thing, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but I would not do an origin story. We've done that technically 4 times, with the Roger Corman film way back when. We've done the origin film 3 out of 4 times, 3 out of 4 times of the 4 films of Fantastic Four. So, yeah, I don't need to, I wouldn't need to do it. I'd kind of do it like Incredible Hulk, where, yeah, we've seen it so many times, just, play it in the intro. Just have it in the opening credits of, here, this happened, and now it's been what? I would say maybe a year, maybe 2 years in that time of being the Fantastic Four. They have the Baxter Building, and it's just them going on an adventure. Would I have Doom in here? I'd mention Doom. I would definitely mention Dr. Doom in here, and not have him as the main villain. I wouldn't have him as the main villain, but I would say that he's out there. I'd have someone like maybe the Mole Man as the first villain, or maybe, try to do the, Negative Zone, because I think it was a good idea to use the Negative Zone but yeah, again, the execution was poor. But I think it would be a cool idea to go back and try the Negative Zone and have it that, Reed's discovered it, and now he wants to, dig further into it. And, have Annihilus. Have Annihilus as the villain for the first film, or again, Mole Man. Annihilus is a big villain, and you could even have Blastar, his enemy, Annihilus's enemy. Annihilus and Blastar are these 2 warlords of the Negative Zone. They're constantly fighting each other for control of the Negative Zone. So maybe I would do that for if not the first film, maybe the sequel film, that the Fantastic Four are now trapped in the negative zone, and they're caught between a war between Blastar and Annihilus' armies, and they're trying to get the hell out. Another villain I think would be cool is maybe a first villain, or a sequel villain, because I think for the what I would do is have Doctor Doom in the background for the first two films, kind of manipulating the events, kind of just basically there pulling the strings, and then in the third film, yeah, boom, that Doctor Doom is the big villain. He is the one who's been kind of manipulating all the situations, pitting the Fantastic Four against all these enemies, and then in the end, he comes in and is just like, you were playing into my trap the whole time, and I got what I wanted, and now I can destroy the Fantastic Four. So yeah, kind of have it like a 3-part trilogy with Doctor Doom in the background, just be like, kind of like Thanos in the Marvel movies. He's just like in the background manipulating everything. And then, when it comes down to it, Doom shows why he is the Fantastic Four's greatest enemy. Just, that's how I would go about the angle. So if I were to do something with the Skrulls, just real quick, if I were to do something with the Skrulls, I think I would do something along the lines of maybe like a more... I wouldn't say like, because it's already a fun science fiction story. I would do something like in the vein of They Live. Remember that film? Just have, and oh my god, I would totally have either Ben or Johnny walk into a bank where there's a bunch of Skrulls hiding in disguise. They figure them out, and they're like, and Ben's just like, I came to chew bubble gum and clobber some asses, and I'm all out of gum. I would totally do that. Yeah. So, I think in regards to Ben Grimm, what would I do for the suit? I think they had the right idea for motion capture with, Ben Grimm in the Fantastic Four film. Again, execution not that great, but I think I would do that, do motion capture. If it came down to it, I would try to do suitimation. But I don't know if that could, process well. I mean, yeah, the costume design, I would give it more of a Rocky form, but I think I would stay safe and go motion capture, because Mike Rooker is kind of an old dude, so putting him in a costume all the time would be maybe a little too strenuous, But yeah, what other characters would I, want to play around with in this in these series of films? Again, if I did the Skrulls, it would be like a fun They Live, and it would be and I think I would have as like the endgame villain, the Super Skrull. Like if I used to use the Skrulls in one movie, I think I would have it that the Super Skrull Kl'rt, that's his real name, he's been monitoring Earth. He's been having this garrison of Skrulls, kind of secretly infiltrating the government and forms of like Wall Street and stuff like that, to secretly kind of do what Hydra did in Winter Soldier, where they're just kind of like, we could have done a full-on invasion, but your people would have resisted us and it would have taken forever to conquer you. So we just kind of did it. We kind of did it in a more silent way. We've done this before and we can do it again. So we can control you through like this, and you wouldn't even know it. So maybe do that and have have it that the Fantastic Four, what if one of us is a Skrull, and maybe have it that the Fantastic Four, when they figure out this the Skrull conspiracy, they're put on their enemy number one. The Baxter Building they get evicted from the Baxter Building. I would have it that I would have Franklin and Valerie in here. I would have Franklin and Valeria Richards, Sue and Reed's kids in here, have them get taken away, and now the Fantastic Four are on the run. The more I think about it, this feels more like a Fantastic Four 2 type film. But yeah, with this, and then the end game is that Kl'rt wants the DNA of the Fantastic Four to replicate into a new form of new Super Skrulls. And yeah, they're about to be beaten, and Kl'rt tests the serum of making the Super Skrull serum on himself and makes himself into the Super Skrull. Yeah. And have a big endgame fight with him, using all the Fantastic Four's powers against them. Yeah. So, again, I would use Doctor Doom, but not outright, and again, the Master Manipulator. And for either the first two films, I think I would, go more cosmic. Maybe not Actually, you know what I would do? I'd actually have, for the opening sequence of the first film, since the Fantastic Four have been around a while, so, like I said, I would have it that they've been around for a year, maybe 2 years, and this is one of their adventures. There's fight in the opening sequence, have them fight the Mole Man, kind of like we've seen in several movies now of having a first scene villain, and then move on from there. So yeah, have the Mole Man and his army of monsters, and that's how you introduce the Fantastic Four. Have them defeat the Mole Man, then boom, Annihilus and Blastar in the Negative Zone, and then second film, the Skrulls, and then finally, Doctor Doom. There you go, there's my Fantastic Four trilogy that will probably never, ever happen. So you guys tell me, what do you guys think of, what do you think of these Fantastic Four ideas? Do you guys like them? Do you guys hate them? Really interested to know what you guys think, and what are your ideas for a Fantastic Four film? Or trilogy or sequels or whatever. Really interested to know what you guys think. Because I love me some Fantastic Four, and I'm pretty sure you guys love it too. So I'm really interested. What would you do if you could make your own Fantastic Four film? Who would you cast? What kind of plots would you do throughout the films? Really excited to know what you guys have to say about all this. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.